Well, that sounds like what we're going to review next, Vinny. A lot of stuff happened.
That is a fact.
So on Monday, shortly before we were going to do the show, Dave texted me and said, "Got to watch BTE. Got to watch Being the Elite." I thought, well, there must be something incredible on this Being the Elite for Dave to text me and tell me I must watch this episode. So I watched it, and I am not a regular viewer of Being the Elite. As I talk about on this show, I don't want to know what's happening on the internet because it doesn't confuse me, but like it skews my vision of what everybody knows about whatever. Sure. Like when I watch Dynamite, I want to watch it as the dude that discovered Dynamite and they're sitting in front of their TV with their family because for some reason families love to watch Dynamite together based on
fun show.
Based on the ratings. And I want to be in that guy's shoes. So when something happens, I want to know if it makes sense or not to the guy watching at home. So I go out of my way to not watch. I do watch some BTE segments every now and then, but I don't religiously watch the show. So I watched it Monday. 90% of it, I had no fucking idea what was going on. I had no idea what was going on. Cole Cabana's, I think, been murdered, and the best friends are trying to kill somebody. I don't even know what's going on. But I watched it, and there were two things that I loved. One was Chris Daniels attempting to explain reverse mortgages. Fucking laughed my ass off. And the other was Brodie Lee and his roving group of complete incompetence of the Dark Order. I laughed so hard at Brodie Lee and these numbskulls. So I mentioned this on the show, and somebody put together a private link for you and I.
Yes.
Of the last, I don't even know how many weeks, but it was like the last 12 straight weeks of only the Dark Order segments on Being the Elite.
So for those people who do watch Being the Elite, these have already aired.
Yes.
Okay, that clears my conscience because you said I just got a link from you late this afternoon, a couple of hours ago.
I pulled a Dave on you.
Basically. And I click the link. It's a YouTube link. So, all right, it's 20 some minutes. I can watch this. And then I look down and I see quickly, very obviously, it's something from Being the Elite. And I see 4 views.
Yes, it was a private link just for us.
Yes, I was very confused and I thought maybe this is stuff that you have not yet aired. And
No.
Okay.
This is the last 12 weeks of segments where Brodie Lee wants his crew to successfully recruit somebody.
Okay, so I went into this with no explanation. And it took me several segments to realize these were meant to be 5-minute segments in a larger weekly TV show.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things here that I couldn't understand why they're making so many of the same jokes every single segment. It was driving me nuts. And then I realized it's not the same joke over and over again in one program. It's a running gag spread out over a longer time.
Yes, it's a long-term storyline.
That makes more sense. So I was the first 50 minutes of this, I was about ready to just throw in the towel. Once I kind of figured out more of what was going on and put things into perspective, I liked it better. There was one moment about 3/4 of the way through where I just laughed my ass off. So I guess we'll just start at the beginning.
Sure.
So Mr. Brodie Lee is very upset about something being a fuck up. Now, we use foul language on this show from time to time. I try not to use it on Twitter as well, but the show is an adult show for adults and we use adult language. But when you watch a half dozen Dark Order Being the Elite segments in a row over and over again, it's like, okay, we get it. You know the F word.
That's a lot of fucking profanity on this show, Vinny.
They cursed too much for me.
Oh, my God.
I was like, dude, we get it. Stop screaming profanities at me. I understand.
Well, it's only 1/12 the amount of profanity, Vinny, because that's 12 different shows.
That once I figured that out, it fit in better. So his geeks come up and tell him, hey, good news. He's mad at them. They lost to Adam Page, but we got a surprise. We got Jungle Boy, and he's drinking the Kool-Aid. Brodie's very impressed. He's very happy that his men have gotten Jungle Boy into a room where they can recruit him to the Dark Order. So he follows them into the room, but they turn this long-haired fella around, and it's Griff Garrison. Fuck. He says he needs papers, One of the running gags is Mr. Brodie Lee rolls up papers and whacks his underlings in the head with them. So he rolls up with papers very tightly. He hits Uno in the head. Uno does the funniest scream and goes down, and Brodie leaves.
Brodie Lee is like me and all of you. That's what I felt watching this whole thing right now.
Well, no wonder you enjoyed it more than I did.
I did. I thought, man, if only I thought of the paper gimmick. I would have whacked Vinny on the head so many times in the early days.
So, the next segment. All the geeks are arguing about masks. They're all saying fuck to each other. Brodie comes in and screams. Just in time, he tells them to calm down. I was had enough of this by this point. He asks what the problem is. The problem, more explained, is, quote, this piece of shit is being a dick. So they're talking about Silver. So I think by the end of this, I'm going to remember which one is Silver now. He's the short, bald,
they got him
one.
over. That's Long John Silver.
The short, bald, ugly one.
The other one's Alex
gimmick.
Reynolds.
Yes. And they call him a kid. He says, I'm 29. And Brodie Lee always explains, I have an 8-year-old. My 8-year-old's not a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. And he opens his jacket to reveal that he has papers stashed in his pockets. And the underlings flee. I don't know who it was. Somebody screamed, abandon him! And they all ran for the door. Like, this whole thing, this 5 minutes, I hated about 4 minutes and 55 seconds. But whoever yelled, abandon him, you saved it. You redeemed the entire segment.
Hey, listen. Dave's favorite guy is Long John Silver, who is funny, but to me, the real funny guy is Alex Reynolds, the straight man. You gotta watch Alex Reynolds in the background as he reacts to his idiot friend being a fucking idiot and a dick.
I think Uno in general made me laugh the most. But there's enough people on screen that everyone can have a different opinion. So that was segment number 2. Segment number 3, Brodie shows up and there's more screaming about fucking idiots not doing their job and they keep fucking up. Ranting about Hangman, ranting about Jungle Boy. They all notice that weeks later, apparently, Griff Garrison is still in their room drinking their booze. And as Brodie turns to that idiot John Silver and starts tearing him a new one, is going to order him to order Griff Garrison out. At one point, John Silver just loses it. He just cracks. He's just laughing, barely even trying to cover it up. So Brodie demands papers. Nobody has any, but eventually he finds some. And Uno is behind him. He is going to whack evil Uno in the head with papers. So he does almost like a discus shot where he turns in one motion, like a baseball pitcher who's got his eye on second base and then turns to deliver to home plate. But unbeknownst to him, evil Uno has put on a Jacksonville Jaguars helmet. And it works. It blocks the papers and he is not in pain. So,
and he's so happy.
He's so happy.
God damn it, it worked.
His plan, a helmet worked. Who knew? So Brodie orders him to take the helmet off, hits him with the papers anyway, asks if anyone has any questions. Silver raises his hand. Everyone's embarrassed for him, by him. They know he's just agitated Brodie Lee more. And his question is, who is Griff Garrison? Segment number 4. Okay, start to finish, this is the funniest thing we saw. Alex Silver and John Reynolds are outside reading the Bible.
Yes.
By which I mean they found a book and an index card and wrote the Bible on it and put the index card on the front of the book. And they're reading that, and up come the Young Bucks, who are, in fact...
Nick Jackson is the low-key funniest guy on this entire show.
Actually, the Bucks,
yes.
They are funny. And they are funny, and this is very important, they are, in fact, Christian AF. And there's a wacky sound effect that plays whenever they say this. So the Bucks see that Silver and Reynolds are reading the Bible, very surprised. They didn't think this would be allowed in the Dark Order. Begin to quiz them on biblical trivia. Excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. I must mention, we thought you were just a couple of jobbers. But it turns out you're 2 Christian jobbers.
Yes.
That was awesome. So they quiz them on Bible trivia. What's your favorite chapter? What's your favorite scripture? What's your favorite testament? So they talk about Cain and his brother, Mark. and there was a fire, and their parents died, and they wrestled. WrestleMania, you know. The Bucks reveal the book is not, in fact, an actual Bible. And they say, oh, you know what we're going to have to do now, right? And I'm thinking, double super kick, and they walk off. But no, as the Bucks say, in these exact words, we're booking you in a squash match on Dynamite. And they walk away. And one of them asks,
John Silver is so excited.
Because
we're going to be in a squash match on Dynamite.
Because then he asks, who are we squashing?
Yes.
Yes.
I did love that before they announced that they were going to book them in a squash match on Dynamite, Nick actually did the old Shawn Michaels turn, where you're expecting the super kick to come.
Yes, yes.
But he did not deliver it.
He studied the best.
Yes.
Yes. So Brodie arrives. There's more cursing. There's more profanity. The segment ends. Now, this was, like I said, that was the funniest start to finish one of these. All these we're going to review. When I looked down and saw there was still 14 minutes to go.
Oh, there's plenty to go, Vinny.
Oh, my God. Everyone's cursing at each other for a while. They're just swearing at each other for a long time. And they look over in their kitchen, and Jungle Boy is actually there fixing himself a drink.
Yes.
But they think it's still Griff Garrison.
Yes, because they're fucking idiots.
They're all complete boobs. And they yell at him, get out of our kitchen. They throw him out the door, and Jungle Boy got his drink. He got what he wanted. He leaves. He leaves, and like 5 seconds later, Brodie Lee walks in, and you've never seen Brodie Lee so happy. Guys, you had Jungle Boy. You actually had Jungle Boy in here. Tell me he's ready to join. They say, no, you're wrong. That wasn't Jungle Boy. That was Griff Garrison. And there is a long build to Brodie assuming Silver has fucked up, but no one will stooge him out. Until finally Stu Grayson does, and Silver gets hit with papers.
There's also the ongoing feud between Stu Grayson and Long John Silver, where Silver says, you're just an ugly bald fucker with a beard. And they point out, you're a bald fucker with a beard. Yes. They're both bald fuckers with beards.
That is
but
true.
They hate each other. That's why Long John Silver called him a dick.
And one guy notes, yeah, but I have a nice beard.
Yes, yes. John Silver thinks he's got a better beard, which is arguable. It's a bigger beard. Is it a better beard? I can't tell you. I also love that everybody in the Dark Order is a fucking idiot. But Brodie Lee is absolutely not an idiot. And Brodie Lee, he's never fooled. Like the moment he walked in and he said, you guys talked to Jungle Boy. And whoever it was said, oh, Stu, he knew immediately that there was a giant fuck up, and he knew exactly who was responsible.
Yes.
And it was John Silver.
Well, really, it was everyone.
Well, sure, but...
No one pointed out, guys, that's Jungle Boy, but... So, the next segment. Everyone's screaming and cursing. Brodie congratulates them on winning, except Silver, who lost to Matt Cardona. He wants Evil Uno to do the honors and hit Silver with the papers. So Uno chews out John Silver for a long time, hits him with papers. And Brodie tells Uno he did a great job, but then he leaves with Stu.
He hits him with the papers, and John Silver goes, that's it? And Alex Reynolds behind him and totally deadpan goes, dude, sell it.
I didn't catch that.
Yes. There's a lot of little things in here, Vinny.
I guess. Well, yes, because Evil Uno, he was light with the papers. Because Brodie Lee wraps up as tight as he can and clubs these dudes with all his might. And Evil Uno rolled them up. And he did not hit Silver with the papers. He did a very, very short distance throw. He actually let go like a foot away from his face. So that's why.
What an amateur.
Well, he's a worker. All right, this next segment, I wasn't into it for a while, but there was a payoff. And the payoff is the best part of this whole thing, I thought, by miles and miles and miles. The Elite are in a room, and there's Omega,
dude,
and there's Paige.
You're going to explain this, but this is the problem with reviewing BTE. You cannot do justice just explaining what happened.
That's true.
You have to watch every single person in the room as this is going on, because they're all doing something different. They're all real people. Like, no
Yes.
one's playing a character.
Yes.
Like, they all know exactly what their character is, and so they all play their own unique character. Everybody, I mean, it's the old, and the funny thing is they're not actors, but like the old trope in acting is, it's not acting, it's reacting.
Yes, acting is reacting, yes.
And when you watch these guys, like when you watch, people are going to get mad, but fuck off. When you watch WWE, their backstage segments, everyone's fucking acting. They're told to stand a certain way. They have to stand on their mark. They have to face the camera. They have to act. These segments, no one's acting. Everyone's just reacting to everything else that everyone says, which is also why I love Brodie Lee, because Brodie Lee's entire role is just to react to these fucking morons. They do a bunch of stupid shit and he reacts to it, and the reaction is what's funny. Not the story, not what the punchline is. It's watching everybody's reaction to everybody else. But anyway, continue on.
All right. So the Bucks are in there, and Paige and Omega are in there, and there's a fifth person. I think it might have been Brandon Cutler.
It's Brandon Cutler.
Okay, a tall, bald fella.
He's the Bucks cameraman.
I see.
He doesn't say a word.
Nor
does he even react to anything. He sits there on his phone stone-faced the entire time. Like he's worried that shit's about to go down at any second.
Dude, okay. I mean, I get it's their bit because he's the camera guy as well, but if you've ever been in a locker room and the low-card guys are in the room with the main eventers, they don't say anything.
Yes, it's all real.
Yes. So they have just lost. This is after they lost to the Dark Order. And they're bummed because they lost. But Kenny they're talking about how, man, it turns out everyone thought we were going to put ourselves over. We're all just a bunch of jobbers. We're below 500.
That was Nick.
Kenny says, you know what? I'm not okay with this. I'm a little embarrassed. We didn't just lose. We lost to a comedy act. And Matt says, well, yeah, but you're the king of comedy acts. You wrestled an 8-year-old girl. You wrestled your sex doll. And Omega quickly corrects him. Wasn't my sex doll.
Matt says, I forget what he said.
Michael Nakazawa.
Yeah, it's Michael Nakazawa's sex doll.
Whoever's. So he said when we started this company, we wanted the New Japan Kenny. We got the DDT Kenny, which is great. And those, all the stuff you did there was funny and fine. We love that. So they look up on the screen. There's a monitor in this room.
Well, before we get to the screen, they also had the line about how they wanted the New Japan. They wanted the cleaner. But then Matt made some comment about how, yeah, but that fucking cleaner in New Japan, like 65 fucking minutes with Okada. Like, it was good, but it kind of got boring. And then Hangman says something like, I don't want to wrestle for 65 minutes. That's when Kenny flipped his lid.
Yes. They were very down on wrestling hour-plus matches. That is funny. So the monitor in the room turns on. Someone has piped in a feed of the Dark Order's locker room. And Uno's there, Silver's there, and I don't know who else. But they're all gathered around a table. And they've decided that now is a good time to practice their harmony. And they began to sing from the notorious Chili's barbecue commercials, Chili's Grill and Bar commercials, I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. And they're doing it in parts and in keys and in harmony. And it gets to Grayson, who refuses to take part in this tomfoolery. He's just silent, but they just move on. And they finish the song, and they're all very happy. And Brodie Lee, I want my baby back ribs, they all scream. And Brodie Lee steps right into the camera. All you can see are his furious eyes and his giant bushy eyebrows. And he screams at the top of his lungs, and fucking barbecue sauce! And then they play an actual commercial for Chili's.
Yes.
With a new voiceover declaring, and I wrote down every word of this, Chili's has joined the Dark Order. They have paid millions and millions of dollars so we never have to work again, unlike you pathetic pieces of shit. And that is the moment where I cannot stop laughing. Chili's has joined the Dark Order.
Yes.
They are now evil riblets.
Yep.
That's just so ridiculous. That's funny. That is absolutely, undeniably, factually funny. So the Elite watch all this, and what it occurs to them is, damn it, if they had won that match tonight, then Chili's would have joined the Elite. They missed out on this deal. They missed out on the millions of dollars. They could have retired, and the Dark Order would have been the pathetic pieces of shit. And they're all very, very upset.
Poor Matt.
They took it out on Matt. They blamed Matt for this.
He got the bird from everybody.
Even his apparently Christian brother. Which,
Yes.
That strikes me as not Christian AF, but I admit that's outside my expertise. So Reynolds and Silver are in the bowels of the football stadium, somewhere from Stadium Stampede. At some point in Stadium Stampede, they were in this spot. So they're trying to figure out who to recruit to the Dark Order. And their first idea is a fine idea. They set their sights high. Jon Moxley, the AEW World Champion. But then they remember he hates us. He has beaten us several times. He won't join. Then they begin to discuss a wide litany of comedians from the days of yore. Tom Arnold, Sinbad, Pauly Shore. The librarians arrive. They argue which edition of Pauly Shore was the best one. But then Peter Avalon wants to be recruited into the Dark Order. They don't want him in the Dark Order. They're trying to be polite about it. Finally, they say, dude, we don't like you. And it goes on for a while. And Peter says, all right, fine. If you don't want me in the Dark Order, that's fine. But please do me a favor. Don't tell Brandon about this. And they say, fine. And they leave. And Peter looks into the camera. And yes, Brandon Cutler is holding the camera.
Yes.
He says, I'm right here. We walked up together. And Peter tries to hide behind the desk, and the camera bends over the shot to see him there, and that's the big payoff. All right, the last one. And the payoff here, I did also laugh at this one. Brodie is upset about the way Evil Uno hit a man with papers, critiquing his form, wants him to practice more. Orders him, the next person who walks through this door, you hit them right in the head. So the next person who walks through the door is, in fact, Tony Schiavone. And Evil Uno does not hit him with papers in the head. He again throws the papers, which just hit him in the chest and fall impotently to the floor. And Schiavone looks down, he looks up, and he just says, what the fuck?
Which, of course, if you remember, was from the moment on national television when Britt Baker had said something to him, and he looks right into the camera on national television and goes, what the fuck?
Yes. And everyone was very disappointed in Evil Uno, and they all walked out on him, and that was the end.
There you go, everybody. The best of the Dark Order on Being the Elite. I want to watch the Dark Order segments every week. I don't know if I can watch Being the Elite every week, but what it is it's just a variety show.
Sure.
It's just a bunch of people doing a bunch of different skits. Some of them hit, some of them miss. You know, everyone's just doing whatever, but I fucking love Brodie Lee in the Dark Order. So I'm glad I watched it. And yes, now you know who these people are, Vinny.
Yes.
Now you will never not know who Long John Silver is.
I will try to remember. I found it more hit and miss than you did, but the hits are definite hits.
Yes.
So
Well, if you'd known what was going on going in, you probably would have liked it better.
that's probably true.
I just sent you a link.
Could have been anything.
All right, everybody. Well, that's it.